what's your best scenario now then, the way the season's panning out?
City win there, 4 in a row. They'll come up with some phrase about it or something like that.
Like that Formidables thing?
Yeah, when they won the Charity Shield.
Yeah, the Charity Shield was part of it.
The Premier League, grow a set of balls, strip them 1, 2, thrice if you have to. Just strip them, deduct them points for the next 5 years, or just some absolute chaos like that. Something that tarnishes every trophy that won.
Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is Off the Bar, brought to you by Green King Sport. Joining me are some absolute titans of the Manchester United fan base. I've got Mr. Stephen Howson. How are we doing? Slow down. Ronaldo Brown.
I'm so happy.
Yes, good. You're happy, I'm happy, and I know why you're happy. We're going to get into that in a minute. And also my good friend, Mr. David Scott. How are we doing?
I'm very good, man. Yeah, just dressed for the occasion.
That's
yes.
That is shameless as fuck.
We are shameless. Do you know what? If you can't laugh at your rivals, even when you yourself are shit, what's the point anymore? What even is the point?
Are you going out buying one?
No, I wish I had the Bayern Munich. So I'll be honest with you, we'll get into all that anyway. Make sure you get involved in the comments as well. Like the whole Champions League thing, obviously Arsenal and City getting knocked out was all right, wasn't it?
We've recorded Ed's gone, right? And there's probably going to be so much crossover of topic here.
Yeah.
Because the first half of it or so, I was just trying to explain to Ash how if Chelsea beat City this weekend, this has literally been the best week of football for Manchester United fans since the 26th of May 1999.
Forget Moscow, yeah. This is better. Yeah? Forget 20th title, this actually is probably better.
How's it not?
I get it. You know what it is, right? The point about like last night when City aren't going to do the double treble or whatever, or retain the Champions League, or Arsenal aren't going to finally break their duck in the Champions League. It's that kind of relief that makes it better. Because you especially with the City thing, I was looking at it thinking, this is going to happen. Like mentally preparing, you think, no, they're going to do it. So when they don't, it makes it even better. But you were more on the Arsenal thing, though, aren't you? Usually.
Nah, do you know what?
Like in terms of hating Arsenal more than City.
I've got a few Arsenal fan mates, as we all do, and always loud, delusional, annoying, and completely out of touch with reality. And so I've developed a
all
really
of those things.
deep hatred for Arsenal, and it's usually due to their fan base. When I was growing up as a youngster, I didn't really think too much of them, really, in the Wenger days. But recently, with social media and everything, they might be up there with the Scousers as being the worst fan base.
But the thing is, like, I was having a good old laugh at City last night on Twitter, and I think 2 City fans tweeted me.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's not really a lot of grief, you know what I mean?
But I was still happy about it. Because I think
for them, no, that's a good ratio. Two fans for them is like, what? A good percentage of their fan base.
I saw something on Instagram the other day where they had this City fan, obviously lifelong home and away City fan. He was at the Mansfield game and everything. And he was asking him questions about players, and he was asking him, I think they shown him Sean Goater, and he was like, don't know.
Sean Goater?
Yeah.
The Muda's finest.
They went through a load of players. He didn't know Cancelo.
Right. Cancelo, who was there 2 seasons ago. In fact, the beginning of last season.
It was, and so my comment on it, my comments kind of like popped off a little bit underneath it. I was like, it's pretty good that for a City fan, to be fair to him.
Yeah. This hate watching culture though, it is enjoyable, isn't it? I'm not gonna lie. It's a guilty pleasure of mine.
Is it sad?
Because it's sad. It is sad.
Not really.
No. Yeah, I mean, exactly. It's enjoyable. Yeah. Like we did last night because we had the live anyway. And then when we went live, we were pushing it back. We thought we've got to go live, and there was still the penalties were going on. So we went live. So we ended up watching it. And then when we got knocked out, we was buzzing. And then people like moaning at us, like, "Oh, I can't believe United fans were."
This is how they stoop so low.
Yes, we're going live. Your game overran because you were shit.
Yeah.
Therefore, we're not going to not watch you, are we? We might as well.
And then this whole thing of like reveling in your rivals' misery. What? So when United played Barcelona in the Champions League final in 2009 and 2011, you were gutted we lost.
Listen, there's a few things that are fucking grinding my gears at the moment. One, stop fucking wanking people off for walking around badges on the floor. Because if your 80% of your corridor is your fucking badge, then you clearly want people to walk all over it, right?
Yeah, that's weird.
So stop playing like, respect for what? Fuck off, right? Don't put your badge on the floor and no one stands on it.
Yeah, I don't know why that's become a thing.
Yeah.
Like, how is that? I'm respecting this badge, this carpet, by not walking across it. Is the most insane thing I've ever heard.
It's
in the history
from the
of insanity.
Herrera thing.
What,
It's
when
so
he spat on-
crazy. Yeah.
Well,
Right, so I shared that last night and I said, obviously everyone always focuses on Herrera, but there's 3 City players walking on the badge ahead of him. Like,
Yeah, but they didn't. No, but they didn't spit on it.
No, you're missing the point, and like everybody else on Twitter, like the whole thing is
But
like
it's the point on Twitter.
all of this
Yeah.
respect for not walking on the badge. That's players who are literally paid by that club walking right over the badge.
Yeah.
Like
if you notice, well, how ridiculous, like you say, it's so big.
the entrance of the tunnel.
Yeah, it's like you're on a ledge.
You need to start a
walking
scale
up.
along the
Yeah,
walls.
Like, you look
So it needs
so
a handrail.
stupid.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier about Chelsea City, how that can be great as well. What are we talking? Just the fact that you've not got City in the final just makes it easier if we get past Coventry.
Well, I think we
what's
said
you
this
thinking
upstairs
there?
before. Like,
I
if
know
United
it
are
is.
playing City, I think we're both pretty shit. It's a 50-50 we win this.
United
If-
played Chelsea, mate.
Sorry, yeah. If United are playing Chelsea, it's 50-50 we win this. If United are playing City, it's going like last year.
It's 90-10.
So,
innit?
like, and I don't want that because I went last year and it was well
Me
shit.
and you did a similar thing last year. We both went. Both took our lads. Obviously, yours is a bit older than mine. And we both did you wear the bucket hat for like 2 seconds?
No, I had my own.
Right.
I didn't know that we were getting issued bucket hats. So, being a good old Mancunian, I went to my own.
Good, you had your uniform on. I put mine on to take a selfie. Told me lad we were gonna win today. As Gundogan scored, dashed my hat and sulks for the next 90 minutes. We had that little bit of hope when we scored. But no, it wasn't much hope. My only hope was we weren't gonna get battered.
What we genuinely should have done is, as soon as that ball at the back of the net, if we go now, we beat the traffic.
Yeah.
We should have done something.
Do you know what?
Should have
Save the
watched
day.
like we should have been home for the final.
Do you know what's scaring me about all this that we're doing though? I think us looking forward to who we're trying to get in the final, whether it be City or Chelsea, who you'd rather.
Go on.
Just for us to go out to Coventry.
Coventry.
That's what scares me because
Well,
I feel like
that's going to happen whether we talk about it or not.
Nah.
So let's enjoy
man.
the possibilities of the
I
hypothetical.
like the
Enjoy the possibilities while they're there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Because come about like 5 bells on Sunday,
Yeah.
when we're like hanging on to a 1-0 and then we see someone give a penalty away and be like 5 minutes to go.
we remember the good times.
Fuck.
We'd have remembered the good times.
It's bad. I remember, right? And so you remember 2010 when was it Inter knocked out Barca and we had that route, didn't we? Where it was because he used to tell you who your quarter finalists and the semi finalists well. They still do. You work it out. But it was like we knew we had Bayern and then Inter and then the final, and we were all ready to go to wherever the final was. I can't remember. Thinking we're there. We've
not
done
Munich?
It might have been. Yeah. No. It wasn't Munich. We thought, oh yeah, we've done it. We're in the final and we got beat off by Munich. Remember? It was just like a nightmare. So now we're at the point where
we started
we're
that
doing
game
it
at
in
Old
Coventry.
Trafford as good as a United team has ever started a game. We
Gibson.
had like 2 or 3 chances in the first
Yeah.
10 minutes, and you're like, oh, we are fucking man.
Was that the year that Evra scored that goal? Yeah, then?
No, that
Allianz.
was
Or was
4
that
years
before?
later.
Because
No, we
they
were full of
knocked
shit
us
by
out
that
in that league as well,
Yeah.
didn't they?
Was that the Rooney injury game when?
Yeah, he got injured.
Ferguson
Yeah.
about Rooney about
So
then.
I had Tony Strudwick on my podcast years ago when we first got this gaff, and he was saying,
So for anyone who doesn't know,
he was the United strength and conditioning coach for the last 5 years or so of Fergie's reign, and he was saying it went off in the changing room at half time, and he said there was 2 things. One was Rooney's injury, and one was Rafa being on a yellow card from the first half. I think that was what he said.
Yeah.
And he said because it had gone off, he goes, we were just fucking trying to like put fires out, and then it's like everyone out, and then he goes, we got to the dugout, he was like, should have made them changes.
It's mental, isn't it? Because everyone was saying, why has he left Raphael on? Because he was a walking yellow. He was on a yellow, and you knew he was going to get a second
Well, they
yellow.
did about 20 more minutes.
Yeah, and then he got sent off, and he was like, "Oh, fuck's sake!" So yeah, that makes sense. That's so strange. That, but I've heard that about the final in Wembley. There was a row at half time as well.
2009.
Yeah, no, that's Rome. 2011. Sorry, there was a bit of a row. So it's always funny to see hear those stories and think those little incidents
Well,
that
you
can.
know, you know the difference between now is there wouldn't be a row now. There's no fucking people care enough, and there's no attitudes.
No.
I think Bruno would have a row with you because I think he passionately believes in whatever it is that he's going to probably argue with you about.
Yeah.
But that team had about 8 of them.
Yeah, they did.
Nah, I think there could still be a row, but I just think the difference will be how the players take it. A lot more fragile egos and a lot of sulkers.
Yeah, there's not
So
that many
difference.
people that are going to go out on the pitch and be like, I'll show you, dickhead. Do you know what I mean? It's
no,
not
no,
they sort of go within themselves.
Yeah, they go-
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Kind of sulking.
I'll show you.
Do you remember away at
anything
Palace?
for the second
Taking the
half.
ball home.
Yeah.
Do you remember away at Palace when was it Rashford that got clipped up? was away at Palace. It was during the COVID season. And obviously, I think
him and Maguire.
Maguire was captain. Was he skipper at this time as well? He might have been.
Shut the fuck up.
He said something about holding a ball up, and I think he was staying onside because Rashford had a massive staying onside problem at the time, and he was offside again. And Maguire said, "Oh, just stay onside," but he didn't say it in like a proper aggressive way. And then Rashford's just gone, "Shut the fuck," like proper said, "Shut the fuck up," whatever. And I'm like, "That's your captain." And then I was clipped like thinking, "That's how he's been to his captain. That's how you know the club's just in disarray because there's meant to be a little bit of
maybe.
But come on.
Isn't there a lot about though?
I think there's
that part of the course.
That can happen, but there's meant to be a level of respect though when it comes to your skipper. Do you know what I mean? There has to be at any level. So that's why people brought that up because you can have a disagreement, but I think the way you said it was a bit.
Because Rio talks about like him and Rooney would just fucking berate each other throughout the entire match, and neither of them was probably captain permanently at that time, was it? So it'd be like. He'd be fucking like, fucking play it fast. He'd be like, fucking turn when you fucking get it. That's like, but both of them were pretty good.
Yeah, that's the thing, innit? Do you know what I mean?
And who's like, and then when you think back to, obviously Roy Keane's going to be the first out of anyone's, but David Beckham will tell you to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know, like Ryan Giggs would tell you to shut the fuck up. Scholes is telling you to shut the fuck up. Like, there'd have been so much attitude.
But
they respect each other though. I don't know how much the players in this team respect each other.
The only time I've seen a real row was when Anthony and Bruno, I think that was at Selhurst Park as well, funnily enough. From last season, where they were rowing and Andy wouldn't leave it alone. He just kept shouting.
But to be fair, when these things do happen on a pitch, you get it, obviously with media and the amount of cameras there is nowadays, it gets kind of projected as some sort of bad incident. It happened the other day with was it Ivan Toney, one of his players?
Really?
Yeah. And then obviously you saw what happened with the Cole Palmer penalty the other day.
That was funny.
That was embarrassing though. That was childish as hell.
If that happened at my level, I'd be fucking disgusted.
You could tell Pochettino was fuming.
Poch was fucking angry.
I was glad he came out the way he did and was like, I'm not having it.
I think he asked about it again in a press conference about a couple of days later and he walked out of the press conference.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, it was so dumb because he's got a 100% record. Didn't even win the penalty as well, I think. But either way, it was his penalty. Like he takes the penalties and he never stops scoring.
Team instructions before the game.
And then Nicholas Jackson comes back and then doesn't celebrate as well.
See what Dele Alli said though. Dele Alli comment on it was bang on. I don't know if you've seen his quote where he said when it was 3-2 down in the last minute against United and Chelsea won a penalty, he didn't see Madueke or Jackson fighting to take the penalty.
Oh yeah, they didn't want it.
Do you know what I mean?
Give it me, I'll sort this out. No. Yeah, what are we 4-0 up?
I'll take the penalty.
I'll take it for the lads. I've got this.
Do you know what? A fucking
hero, leader, legend.
Like every one of our podcasts, this episode of Off the Bar is brought to you by Green King Sport, where football is more than just a game.
Make Green King your go-to destination for the season's final stretch. Why? Well, for one, you can wash every televised United game down with delicious food and refreshing beverages. And with 900 sports clubs dotted around the UK, chances are you're within walking distance of a Green King pub.
Let's be honest, watching football is way better with friends and family. So get the squad together for every televised Premier League fixture in an atmosphere worth sharing. That includes huge title showdowns, the race for European qualification, and nail-biting relegation six-pointers.
And don't forget to download the Green King Sport app and enjoy all the exclusive competitions and discounts whenever there's a game on.
There's a link to the Green King Sport app in the description of this video, and you can find it on our socials. What's your best scenario now then, the way the season's panning out for in terms of who you don't like, who you want to like?
And the asteroid is on the table still.
Yeah. Hopefully the asteroid
it's
kills
probably the best scennario, if I'm being hypothetical, would be for City, Liverpool and Arsenal to get deducted about 20 points each and Villa win the league.
I'll one up you on that one.
Go on.
City win the league. Again, it's like one deep on Deansgate, so who really gives a fuck?
Yeah.
It takes like an extra 5 minutes to get back past Subway.
You still take the normal route home.
Yeah. City win there, 4 in a row. They'll come up with some wank phrase about it or some shit like that.
Like that Formidables thing.
Yeah, when they won the Charity Shield.
Yeah, the Charity Shield was part of it.
Yeah.
Come on. What is that?
David
Moyes did not win a trophy.
Actually finds their balls when they put their hand down the pants. Strips the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
So even if they might have, because I think it's only up to like 2018 that they've investigated, isn't it? It'd be hilarious because that's part 2, mate. Like, even if it doesn't touch this current run of 4 wins, it really does though, doesn't it? Like if they stripped them of one title, all the titles are tainted. So The Premier League, grow a set of balls, strip them 1, 2, thrice if you have to. Just strip them, deduct them points for the next fucking 5 years, or just some absolute chaos like that. Something that tarnishes every fucking trophy that fucker's won. And Bayer Leverkusen finish the season undefeated. And who gives a fuck?
I love the fact you're actually on that. You actually care about West Ham getting beat in the Europa League. I'm not.
I'm
not really asked.
No, because it could all lose.
Do you not hate West Ham?
Villa.
Hello, is that West Ham?
I couldn't care less about West Ham.
I do a
David
little
Moyes,
bit, but
right,
I'm not massively.
I'm not going to bat for in the fucking slightest, right? David Moyes in his press conference actually having to defend himself the other day, like, I've actually won a trophy at this club.
Mate, he's only one of 4 people that's won a trophy at West Ham in their existence.
And they're like, get him out. Yeah. And he's right to be like, how about go fuck yourself?
And they're 8th in the league. They're not like doing the worst. Do you know what I mean? I think it's because
he's taken him into Europe like 3 times.
Lost your best player last summer.
Yeah.
And he's
who Declan Couscous.
And also, like when they've got rid of him in the past, it's like, nah, we'll get Pellegrini in.
Yeah.
And then getting relegated, and it's like, quick, get David Moyes in to rescue us.
I mean, a little bit of respect for him. It might not be good enough for United, but for a tin pot club like West Ham, I think he's fucking bob on.
That's as good as they get it, though, isn't it? That European Cup and top 8.
What is success for you?
What are you expecting?
That's insane for them.
That's top of the league.
So let's have it right. Like them winning a European trophy and consistently being in Europe as well, which he's pretty much done, I think, almost every season.
I think on the overlap fan debate, weren't the West Ham fan on that was getting questioned a bit by Carragher and Gary Neville saying, like, what do you actually expect from West Ham? Like, what do you want? Because they're talking about the fact that they're in 8th place, might qualify for Europe again. During the knockout stages of the Europa League, they won a trophy last season, and the fans still seem disgruntled by David Moyes. Do
you know what it is?
I mean? So I'm like, I know what their expectations are.
Do you look at Villa though?
It was
because
that.
if you look at Villa, could you not have said the same thing about Villa 2-3 seasons ago?
Pedigree.
Yeah, but they haven't for a while, haven't for
But
a long.
they've won more than 4 things in their lives.
I think, I think it was weird because on that overlap thing, you could tell the girl who was the West Ham fan she was trying not to upset any West Ham fans. Because she was like Moyes has done well, like pretty much what you've said. Yeah. Moyes has done well, but I understand why fans don't like him. Like, it was like, just say it. Just you can say like,
he put his dick in the fucking
Pepsi or something. Just say just say he's done well. He deserves a bit more respect, which he kind of did.
I think
but
he
then
said, you know what?
I know why
fans played a bit more expansive football, but what he does is pretty fucking effective.
Yeah, and also I know like what you mean about all other teams, Villa or Spurs, but they've got more resources than West Ham. There's a difference between what like the teams above West Ham have got. Like, look at the teams above them. United, like obviously.
Look at the teams below them.
Yeah, like Chelsea below him. Like United, Newcastle, Spurs, Villa, Chelsea. Of all, as long as he gets a Brighton,
and don't forget he's
similar level in terms of what they've spent.
He's done that with having Calvin Phillips in midfield as well, which is something.
He doesn't get played.
when he comes on, he's a disaster.
He's played like 30 minutes there, and West Ham fans have said it might be the worst 30 minutes we've seen by him.
What a fall from grace.
Do you remember when he came on against United?
We were linked with him heavily though, weren't we, one summer?
Yeah, and I was throwing up in my mouth thinking, man, this is not the one, man.
No, I was with you, bro, because it was like, I remember in the 6-2 he got subbed at half-time, then he was having a stinker. And then when he went to City, he's like one of the only players they've bought who's been just an unmitigated disaster.
The Leeds to United thing.
Football shit, Jay.
Go on.
Right, football shit, yeah. So I, without spoiling my fucking show tomorrow, like, would you compare the current Real Madrid to even the Benzema era Real Madrid, let alone the Ronaldo era Real Madrid or the Bale era Real Madrid? No. This is a shit Real Madrid team. This City team is shit compared to last year.
I think that I understand your point in the levels.
And everyone's like, have you seen United? Yeah, we're shit.
Yeah. Everyone is shit.
We've already accepted that. Yeah. So now the rest of the season is just to hopefully win the FA Cup Barcelona. And just hate watch everyone else.
Shit.
Yeah.
Bayern Munich. Shit. Fucking Eric Dyer playing for him. They're shit, right?
Well,
PSG, shit.
Barcelona literally start 2 under 18 players as their most important players.
That's how you know they're a million miles away from the Barcelona we used to watch.
Atletico Madrid, shit.
Yeah, it's like
Arsenal.
That's why it's kind of been a little bit more competitive this year.
That's why it's better because there's no
like you haven't got the 100 points, 99 points like level in the Premier League. You haven't got one massively dominant force in Europe.
Because Dortmund are 5th in the Bundesliga, I swear,
and they're in the Champions League
semi-final. So
Liverpool, shit, as fuck.
Would you be happy running if Arsenal won the league? Not happy, but would that be?
No, I wouldn't be happy with Arsenal.
You seem to have this thing about Arsenal. But for me, if Arsenal won the league, I don't think it will. I'll be happy with that.
I've come to like if Arsenal won the league, it's still better. It's 100 and a million% better than Liverpool winning it. they're last of the three that I'd want to win. City, it comes down to what Steve said about them almost being this tainted franchise where everything's a bit based on cheating.
Yeah.
Where it's like you can kind of almost put an asterisk on it in your mind, but when it comes to
almost,
do you know what I mean? Like, tattooed on. But as for Arsenal, it just comes down to how jarring they are as a club and their fans. And obviously Arteta's not very likable if you're not a supporter of him as well.
Mate, fucking Saka.
Do you know what I mean?
Saka's become a bit of a hate figure.
But still,
I felt like after the Euros, sorry, I didn't mean to insult you.
Yeah.
Because you've sort of not led the way, but you've been heavily
Don't
involved.
say I've led the way.
No, you've not led the way. You've just...
I've joined in because
you stood up on the bus with a megaphone.
It's funny, yeah.
You've
joined up. It's funny.
You have. Like,
I do it.
You've held someone's coat while they
I do it to spite Arsenal fans though. Because I'm still here saying I'd rather them win the league out of the three, even though I hate them, which tells you everything you need to know.
No, I hate that.
Because I wouldn't. If they won a Champions League, that would have burnt me. Because that's still the one thing that you can banter every.
Yeah, it was like when City won the Champions League last year. That was. I had to go look at a lake and shit. Like,
that was so shit. And it was so good when they kept messing up in the Champions League, wasn't it? Like they kept like Pep showing everyone how clever he is by just dropping Rodri for the final against Chelsea and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, why has he done that? But it works because they kept losing. So it was annoying when they did it. What
was you
like,
saying?
The Saka thing. Why is it like everyone's on him? Like even rival fans are on him. Arsenal fans seem to be on him. Like about 6 months ago, your mate was having arguments with everyone because he said he weren't world class, and everyone was like, "Well, he is."
So the way he played last night, it was. And I'm not just talking about he's been substituted fucking hobble that he's decided to have now.
That's a bit iffy.
Or he's very obvious. Let me throw my right leg out dive that he's got now.
Yeah.
So I put in our group with Rio last night. Let's get Ashley Young in this group because I've got an apology to make. Because if Saka's world class, then so's Ashley Young.
See, I thought for a split second there was going to be an actual apology and compliment to Ashley Young then from you, and I was worried because that's completely off-brand.
Anyway, so Saka's performance last night: 0 goals, 0 assists, 0 shots, 0 chance created, 0 out of 4 crosses, 0 out of 3 dribbles.
What was the shots?
Oh, none.
Right, sorry, I was
consistent then.
Yeah.
Consistent.
Yeah, consistently bad performance from him, which is, you know what's funny? The Saka one's interesting because as a person, he's quite inoffensive, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's inoffensive.
He's a bit like, he's British. There's nothing about him where
he just seems like
you
a
think,
nice guy.
Have you ever heard him talk?
Yeah, he's one like that. Basically, do you know what I mean? He's not. There's nothing really that unlikable about him, but
it's Arsenal fans.
It's the Arsenal fans that created it.
Fans,
do you know what I mean?
Arsenal fans. He's like Rio goes. I think Foden's probably a little bit ahead of Saka, and there was a meltdown.
Really? That's obvious though, isn't it?
Yeah. To anyone we watched the Brain talking Arsenal,
Foden stank up yesterday as well.
Yeah,
but
he was anonymous last night, no?
Yeah, exactly. But what I wanted to say was
Hey, do you know what? I might be with you, Steve. This might be as good as like anything since night.
It's just funny. We've got tonight to go.
It just is.
We've got tonight to go as well.
Forza Atalanta, mate. Are you fucking mad?
I wish I'd have thought of it.
What did you make of the 192? Bus.
Oh, the gift that keeps on. Have you not seen this?
Right, no, I understood that. Yeah, so they've put a 192 bus going through the Etihad.
Yeah, but there's all bin bags that were waving and stuff. It was just embarrassing.
Honestly, I don't understand how you can.
Why the 192?
It was when it was letter of Foden, reference to Foden.
Maybe because Foden's from Stockport, as are most Man City fans, so they probably have to get that bus to the ground.
Yeah, makes sense. It'd have been a 216 or something.
It is mad how they can win all these trophies, have all this success recently, and still be proper sad.
It's so empty, innit?
Yeah.
You see how many fucking influencers was at the game and went and supported Madrid?
Like, I saw, was it Angry Ginger and Astrid Wet and people like that in the Etihad wearing Madrid tops? Like, why have you invited
Champions
them?
League quarter-final. There was a guy that was giving me some shit, and it was like, oh, with the special ticketing criteria for there shouldn't be any fucking tourists or fucking whatever's in the ground last night. And I was like,
yeah.
Special ticketing criteria.
What's this then, mate?
I think you can only buy 3.
You can only buy 3.
Mate, it is mental how they can do all that and then they still make us laugh. Are they going to win the league, Steve? Is it done?
Probably.
Yeah. I mean, like you always said, and I like this, you said, whatever happens, you focus on who you can take the piss out.
It's called deflection, Jay.
Go on, explain it to the
when it was, we had City and Liverpool going for it, didn't we? Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, right, well, if Klopp wins it, we're certainly not going to praise them.
No.
We're going to be like, Liverpool win the league. How bad has it gone for Pep Guardiola? Right? And then you flip it the other way around. Yeah. Pep wins. You'd be like, wow, Liverpool really fucked that one up, didn't they? You just total deflection. So with City, it's straight away. let's create the Howson City won the league bingo. We're talking charges. We're talking Bennell. We're talking.
Wow.
It's fucking funny, man. You see this fucking like influencer platforms and stuff advertising for people to cheer about City winning the treble last year. You could not be more of a fucking tin pot club and
That's
fan base.
ridiculous, isn't it? It sounds like something that's made up. That it sounds like a United fan made it up and put it on Twitter to try and get some traction, but it's true. It's insane.
We'll always find some, even if City do win the league, we'll find something to laugh about him when they do it. If it's 115 charges, Liverpool win it, we won't.
No.
Liverpool winning
winning
no saving grace for Liverpool.
Liverpool winning it.
There's nothing at all.
Like you can't say, oh well, it's just a sugar daddy.
One thing is that they win it, but Klopp's gone. So they can't just be like, oh, and we're at the top, we're going higher.
Yeah.
They're like,
yeah, that's
fuck.
peak.
Like, yeah, so there's a little bit of sadness.
You might not have to tweet for 6 weeks though, if Liverpool win it.
Yeah, and you can't watch any BBC Sports. It'll just be montage of turkey teeth.
It already is at the moment.
Yeah. I think it'd just be too unbearable if they win it. Because the saving grace when they won it in COVID times.
They're not going to win it. And I know it's tight like a tiger. They're not going to win it.
I hope you're right, bro. Because I couldn't stomach it.
Do you think that the City game last night has a knock-on effect against Chelsea?
I fucking hope so.
I think.
Yeah.
The thing is,
Guardiola, with Haaland and De Bruyne going off.
I think they went off with fatigue though.
That's what I mean. So they might be knackered going.
Nah,
But honest to God, I think the way Chelsea are, if they're at top of the game, they can give them a game, but they actually can be so bad at the same time that I think City don't even have to be like at full tilt, or they can rotate a bit and still beat them.
Yeah, City could be like, Alvarez, you're getting a fucking start tonight.
Alvarez is decent though, isn't it?
Because you know what's interesting?
It's not like,
See Chelsea 6-0 against Everton. They still conceded almost 2 XG, you know. Everton just couldn't finish the dinner. Do you know what I mean? People are brushing over that.
Chelsea are the only team that play like us.
They have the exact same kind of issues as we do.
That's why
who needs midfield and defence?
I'd take that 50-50.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't City, it's 95.
No, you're right. Like you say, it's
us and Chelsea at Wembley on that big pitch in the final might be one of the games of the season.
That could be anything.
Do you know what I mean?
It could be exactly the way it
could
was
be 5-3.
Would you go?
You know what I mean?
To that one?
Yeah,
I'd go
to that. Yeah.
If it's us and City, I'm tempted to miss it. You know.
I was saying to Jaden before upstairs, I was like, "Do you remember?" Because I took him to that one, he didn't remember, so well done. Like, do you remember the game, the one we lost to Chelsea? I was like, "Remember that game? Like, we lost and we went home."
The Hazard one.
Hazard one.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And you're like, you lose the game, we went home. Like, and it was like not drastic. That City game fucking ruined my weekend. Like, and maybe the next weekend after it, I was just like.
It was horrible, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was horrible. You get messages as well, like, can you come and do some video?
Do you think? Because you talked about, you said like.
I mean, he was on the way back and he's like.
Do you think he capitulate though? Because you talked about the other two. How do you think Arsenal in the season now? Because they've just lost back to back.
I think they'll implode.
What do you reckon happens?
I think this is them last season again.
They've got Spurs to still play, haven't they?
You know where like last season.
The next 3 games are in 9 days. They've got Molineux Saturday night away, which isn't a bit rough.
That's
not where you want to go.
It stinks of a 1-1.
That stinks of a draw. That.
Yeah.
Well, that in itself will be a horrible result for them.
Yeah, and then they've got Chelsea.
It's not the losses, it's the draws.
They've got to win them all, and then they've got Chelsea, and then Spurs.
I can see Chelsea the last 4 games. You know, we had like 12 points on offer and we come up with what, fucking 2, 3. Like, it's the draws that fucking
You've got it there. You've got Arsenal have got Wolves away, Chelsea at home, Spurs away, Bournemouth at home, and United away.
They could go 0-3 in that 3 and it's over then. Over. I mean, it's kind of fucked anyway, but it's over. City can just decide to win their remaining games and win the league.
I think Arsenal don't. I think Arsenal might struggle to beat us at Old Trafford as well. They're not very good when it comes to Old Trafford.
They're not really.
Do you know what I mean?
Considering
when the pressure's on as well. So like, they didn't even like finish their remaining games after they fucked it last year. They just went fucking didn't they?
Sack it.
Yeah. So, and those games on paper like were winnable, and the ones that weren't, like Liverpool away, is obviously one you don't expect to win. But they were 2-0 up.
Was it you that told me that mid-table teams ish that don't have much to pay for? Do they finish the season stronger usually in Premier League? I think you told me.
Yes.
Or is it?
Yeah. So. I was sick of hearing that cliche of you don't want to come up against a team with something to fight for, like your relegation fodder and stuff like that during the last 6 games.
Yeah.
So being the absolute fucking I must be right.com that I am, I went back about 10 seasons and I looked at the last 6 games for the bottom 4, the middle 4 and the top 4 and worked out what their points per game was across the season and then what it was towards the back end of the season. So what do you reckon it was? So the top 4, the middle 4, the bottom 4, do you reckon they improved, stayed the same, or got worse? Last 4 games.
I think they improved in the middle because there's less pressure, but it's more pressure on the other two.
Yeah, from the way you've built it.
I wouldn't have thought that though. I wouldn't have thought that. Teams great scrapping near the bottom will find another gear to go up because it's like.
I think they dropped points. I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure the bottom 4 got less points in their final 4 games than they did across the rest of the season. The middle 4, the nothing to play for lot, improved, and the top 4 went down.
Really, that's the surprising one. The top 4 because you think that.
I think skewed teams. It. The title being won.
Ah, right. So
I think that skewed it. Or you're being secure in the top 4.
We were secure. Because remember, was it the COVID season where we had to go? I was going to say Filbert Street. Then what year is it? The King Power. And going into that game, if we lost, we wouldn't have made top 4. If Leicester lost, they wouldn't. We finished 3rd, but we could have ended the day in 5th. It was like everything to play for then, so it's a little bit different in it.
Look at Crystal Palace at home when like Josh Harrop scored and stuff like that. When it's done.
Yeah.
And you're like, we are here, and that's where we're going to be, whether it's a success or a failure. And you give a lot of fucking kids a go, like. But it was interesting as the way people sort of bill. Oh, you don't want to go to a team fighting relegation. No, you do the shit that it's just fighting relegation.
No one ever bothers to look into it, and it's just sort of, that's that whole thing. Just to change tack slightly, I don't know if you saw this interview with Bastian Schweinsteiger. He's been, I think, on the Overlap. I think I am right to say that. I don't know which one it is, if it's just the Overlap or Stick to Football or whatever. But he's talking about his treatment at United now. Jose Mourinho, via John Murtagh, basically told him to go and train with the under-16s. And just sort of, ostracised him. Didn't fancy him. Not really.
Under 16s, not even 18.
I think he said it was under 16s.
Yeah,
it was just like, look, I don't want you training with the first team. Like, I'm not interested in all that. I'm just wondering what you made of that, because it seems there's still all these stories that keep coming out about that. In case you forgot what a mess we are. It's like now and again someone will give like an in-depth interview to remind you. So Ollie will go, well, I wanted us to buy Erling Haaland, but the club said no, even though we could get him for £3.
There was like, how about Igalo on loan?
Yeah, or Bastian Schweinsteiger, I came to United and they made me train with children.
But I think we were all well aware that was happening at the time, even without the detail of what was happening at the time. Because I remember him coming on for a sub-appearance after months of not being seen. And the standing ovation he got at Old Trafford was mad, remember?
Yeah.
And that after him being out, I think it was quite obvious that he was getting fucked about a bit. And people are going to be like, oh, it just shows how fucking badly run this club is. That was on the manager. If it was the manager told John Murtagh to time, for starters, I thought Mourinho had a bit more bollocks about him than that.
That's what surprised me. It wasn't like he did it, it's that Mourinho didn't.
I'm not surprised that Mourinho did that, but I'm surprised that he didn't have the bollocks to say, I'm not fancying you. Because I thought he was like that. I thought it had been like, I'm not seeing you in my team, train with the Resis or whatever. The fact that John Murtagh had to go and say something to someone doesn't surprise. Doesn't surprise me. The fact that Mourinho did it that way definitely does surprise me. But people, I think, incorrectly pigeonholing this into show I knew the club was fucked. Look how fucked the club is. No, that's fucked on Jose's part. That's not necessarily the club.
He's always been like that, wasn't he, Jose? There was the interview with Kevin De Bruyne where he said he brought Kevin De Bruyne into his office when he was at Chelsea and had a list of all the goal scorers and assisted goals, and went, do you want to show me you on this list? And Kevin De Bruyne's like, they play every week, you don't play me. And he was like, he didn't give a shit.
Thought so.
Yeah. He was like, that doesn't make any sense.
I think he thrives in conflict.
Yeah.
So like, he has to walk into a happy dressing room and be like, what did you fucking call me? Like,
no, because when I'm reading that, he made it seem like the excuse he gave was because Schweinsteiger got injured and went to Germany to do his rehab. So he made it seem like what you said, Mourinho's made an excuse of, oh, you're not happy at United then because you went to Germany, you're not happy in Manchester, oh, I'm not playing you. He seemed like a bit of like an excuse that he's giving himself for the fact he didn't fancy him. Yeah.
Like there's he challenges players, like it's in all of the books about him and by him and that, where it's like, who the fuck was it? I want to say Basingwa. Did he bring Basingwa from Porto to Chelsea?
I think Basingwa was a no. He went in 2008.
There was someone that was at Porto with him that I think he brought to Chelsea. I can't remember who the fuck it is now. Where he said he wasn't happy with a pass I made in training. So he fucking launched him out the team, made him do, instead of training with a team, he just had to do laps. And then he'd been counting how many laps he was done. And he was like, it's not enough laps in an hour and a half. fucking get out of the team, find him, all sorts, until in his training then was, while we're training, you're running laps.
Yeah.
And then it was like, he apologised or whatever, and then he brought him back and he played him every fucking game. Like, he needs to, like, prove you'll die for me before I'm going to play.
Yeah, it's like breaking the player down, isn't it, to the bare minimum, and then build them up, and then the sort of player that Jose wants. It's similar to what you were talking about before with Rashford and Maguire, whereas United players are now all sort of like quite brittle, won't challenge each other. Jose likes that confrontation because, you know, you go into war pretty much, aren't you, on the pitch?
Sounds military, like a bit
that's what I was thinking. That's
kind
sort
of management from Mourinho, almost like mental, like almost like this mental challenge.
He got like another season out of some of them players, didn't he? His last season at Chelsea, like when you thought they might, or some of them you thought they might not have in him, and he got that title. Right. It just feels like now. Or even Inter was a better example. Inter was like, he got him, obviously won the treble, won the Champions League. A lot of players like, was it Zanetti, Cambiasso, Materazzi, like they were coming towards the end of their careers, and it was like, they looked like they're done, and he managed to get more out of
He's meant to be a good player manager though. He's meant to be like someone that's good in his man management, but it does seem like he can be quite hardened.
He needs someone to ostracise in the team, I think.
Like, because he was like that with Pogba, wasn't he?
I think he was the target.
I think if you look, people forget. Look at Mourinho's interviews and press conferences around Pogba for the first year or so. Very complimentary. Very sort of.
He hammered Luke Shaw.
Hammered Luke Shaw and Martial as well.
Martial,
I'm trying to think who because he definitely did it to someone that was like playing beforehand. No, you're not. It might have been Schweinsteiger. It might have been him.
Yeah, because he has his favourites, done it. Like obviously Zlatan, he got on really well with, and was a bit of a buffer between him and the rest of the squad, but. With certain players, it's like he never really fancied them at all.
It seems like it's the day he walks in. Did Juan Mata get fucking binned as well?
I think Juan Mata had to prove himself again.
What year did we have Schneiderlin?
Around, but Schneider
2015,
2015-16. I think he was a Van Gaal signing.
Van Gaal signing, because that you also get that. You get the sign.
Memphis got the fucking
Memphis
dragged out like all yellow.
That's always an issue though when because we talk about managers having their signings, etc. But sometimes you do get the crossover from a manager signing to a new manager, and you might not fancy him. You see it all the time. And obviously,
everyone who Louis Van Gaal signed, Jose fucked off.
Yeah,
Schweinsteiger, Schneiderlin, Darmian, Memphis. Yeah. It was only Luke Shaw that kept around, and even him, he was like, "It is my brain in his body."
Yeah, do you remember? Like, was it?
he puts him on his side. Puts him on his side. He has to stand in the technical area whenever Shaw's on his side. So he can talk to him
like the Brighton game where he took him off from the FA Cup when it was snowing. It was like the reason. Basically, said the reason won is because I took him off.
Nah, but the thing is with Shaw, and he's known for.
That's why we won.
It's not been boring, has it?
Just quick before we wrap up.
What do you think about the conspiracy?
Go on.
Let's do it after the ad.
All right, let's do the ad, and then let's do the. Have you got a conspiracy theory for us?
It's not. I've already said it on it. It's about the show and Call of Duty, innit? And like him playing, basically thinking about how he can prestige later. That's why he always looks like he's a bit out of it. Right. You know what I mean? So,
no, just quickly. We'll do the ad separately. Just quickly, give us your predictions. How's this season going to end? Who's going to win the title?
City win the title.
Go
they
on.
get something stripped from them. Yeah. I put on a sausage roll and open top bus party for
I'll be there for
that.
No,
United win the FA Cup, but obviously it relies on Chelsea beating City because we're not beating City.
Let's have a little bit of faith.
We're going to win the FA Cup. We're going to finish like 8th for some shit.
Yeah.
But win the FA Cup, and it's going to be a complete coin toss whether Ten Hag keeps his job on the back end of that or not.
That's
like literally fucking heads up.
Yeah.
They might even walk in and go, call it.
Like, we can't make a decision. You have to
I said that just the other day.
Tails,
I think if
you fucking death balled it.
No country for all men in it. Yeah. Call it. I can't call it for you. Call it.
Yeah. Heads, right, keep your job. Tails,
you're gone.
Fuck out.
Get the fuck out now.
Imagine he flips it, lands on heads, and then he just go. You know what? Sorry, it's Tails.
Are you agreeing, Ronnie? Is it City's title now, and United could win the FA Cup?
Can Villa still win it or not?
No, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'll be sat here in an Aston Villa top.
I think City probably win it.
Yeah.
And then for the FA Cup, I think likewise, if we manage to get through Coventry and Chelsea get through, I think it's a toying cost whether we can beat Chelsea, but hopefully we do. As for the Champions League, if I'm going to throw in a prediction for that, I think this could be PSG's year to shout it.
Really?
I think
That'll be a great.
I'm
that'll be a great victory for football.
I think with
Football's the winner if PSG.
Yeah, I think with
minnows.
Mbappe going, I think everything's aligned for Illuminati to sort out. PSG and that. But that's how I see it going. And as for us and Ten Hag, I actually don't know whether us winning the FA Cup would still save him if we like shit the bed still in the rest of the season in the league.
Fair comment, Scott. Do you agree with that?
I think we're going to win La Liga and the Champions League.
Perfect.
All the other team. I think City win the league. United finish 8th, get beat by Chelsea in the FA Cup final.
Fucking
Liverpool will laugh at them all summer.
Imagine Carlo Ancelotti came United in 2013.
What?
I was told.
We actually
I was
got one of the
told
most successful managers ever to take over, the most successful manager ever. That sounds like a proper.
It was him or Jose I wanted in 2013.
Yeah.
It'd have been good, wouldn't it?
Where do you rate Ancelotti in terms of greatest managers of all time?
Is Everton tenure or how random is that?
How random is
He
that?
had Everton in the top half.
They were top at one point.
Shows how fucking genius the guy is.
You mean Everton used to be a bit of a top 5 side, don't it? Really?
In the 80s.
Nah.
For that one season.
They finished 4th once, and that's been it. They've had 2 games in the Champions League.
Do you know what I think he suffers from a little bit? Is it's a little bit like Fergie, where people don't understand him, and he doesn't have like a style that you can go, oh, that's Ancelotti's ball.
Yeah.
And I think because he doesn't have that, people underestimate him in the same way that they go, oh, Fergie was just a motivator, just shouted at him.
Just a motivator.
Yeah, just motivated him to 30. Do you know what? It's a good point.
I guess the same thing. Like,
Yeah, it does.
He clearly understands football on a cellular level because the fucking guy just wins.
Yeah.
Like last night, right? You saw it with when it comes to penalties and Pep's doing all that and shouting and rah, 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 and you can see half the players are probably thinking, bro, what
Fucking
you
Ancelotti was banging his Chinese order in, man.
Yeah,
He didn't give a fuck.
Ancelotti all stood around
He was like,
yeah, he's having
do you want prawn crackers?
Yeah,
Like,
like,
of course we're getting rice.
Did you see the Pep clip that did the rounds though, of him coaching? Do you see it?
Go on.
Where he's like, I can't emulate it, but it's basically him just shouting utter like.
Is it like an advert for meth?
Yeah, he looked 100%. Like he looks unhinged, and something that you watch and you're like, yeah.
How can you tell which clip this is?
Available.
And honest to God,
Every fucking
Have
clip
you tried meth?
just makes me
he's like,
think.
Bernardo, I love it. Like he's just losing his head, and everyone's like, yeah.
Have you seen the
he's a nutter.
Ancelotti interview afterwards? And it was like, oh, that must have been torture for you. And he went, not really.
No, he looks quite relaxed. Did you see the sort, with Rodri coming out afterwards saying that only one team should have won that? Have you seen the quote that's going around from the Chilean coach, George Sampaoli? One night I went to a bar, I was with a woman, we talked all night, we laughed, we flirted, I paid for several drinks of hers. At around 5 o'clock in the morning, a guy came in, grabbed her by the arm and took her to the bathroom. He made love to her and she left with him. That doesn't matter because I had the most of the possession that night.
Sam Lee on the Athletic podcast this morning. The copium was fucking strong. He led with the amount of touches we had in Real Madrid's box. What?
Yeah.
That's the real quiz.
You can't really and it was like we played so well and we had so much possession and don't matter.
No. Do you know why it is? Because he's scared. I know, Sai. He'll be too scared to say we just bottled it or City bottled it. He'll have to say things like that.
Because the top and bottom
City
of it is
fans will mobilise.
We can take the piss
try and get him sacked
out of City's failure to win a fucking Champions League quarter final, but they did. They played pretty well. They dominated the game. They had the chances. They just didn't finish the chances. And at this level of football, you got to finish your fucking chances. The mark of a great team is, do you know what? Wasn't our day today. Still fucking won.
99. One of the worst performances you'll see.
The actual final?
Yeah.
I mean, there were some incredible performances on the way to the final, but the actual final was a fucking Steelers pile of fucking cordon bleu.
Yeah, we didn't deserve to win that game.
No, not at all. But,
we did.
But I don't think Bayern Munich are going on about how much possession they had in the 99 final. Do you know what I mean? No one cares. Gentlemen, always a pleasure. Steve, what have you got going on?
We got a big game on Saturday, if you're in the area. It's our last home game. Well, we got one on Wednesday as well, but it's our last Saturday home game at Openshaw. It's against a team that's going for promotion as well. Fucking big game. It was a tough old game. We had to play off the back foot a bit. Hold on. Probably didn't deserve to win, but we fucking did, Jay. And I think we're in for a real fucking tough ride on Saturday. So if you're in the area, free entry. Get yourselves in the mood before we go to Wembley Saturday night, Sunday morning. Don't he say sell him? Oh, he's PCL.
Oh, mate, you can't play.
He's out for the season now.
I'm out for the season, but even though I'm at a wedding anyway Saturday, so I was unavailable anyway.
Glad we cleared that up. Go and check out Ed's Gone as well. That should be up soon. You know where to find Ronaldo Brown. Scotty.
Can I just say congratulations? My brother's getting married on Saturday. He's not going to the same wedding at Castlefield.
No, it's not the same one.
My brother Cameron is getting married on Saturday.
So were you congratulating that?
Him and his missus to be. They're getting married.
But what's the congratulations for?
To get him wed. Or best of luck then, should I say. In fact, he likes you, Steve. You should say it to him.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Not too late.
Some words of advice.
Offshore accounts.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
There you go, Cam.
A big thank you to Green King Sport as well.
Prenups don't work in England. You need an offshore account. You need squirrel companies and like...
Yeah, there you go.
Text me.
That is a wedding message from Mr. Stephen Howson.
50% of them fail, but 50% of them work, so...
Do you know what I mean? Flip your coin.
Toss that coin.
Exactly. That's been Stephen Howson. That's been Ronaldo Brown. That's been Dave Scott. I'm Motty. This has been Off the Bar, brought to you by Green King Sport. Thanks for watching.